If you struggle with anxiety and you're wanting victory, you're tired of the anxious thoughts that plague your mind day and night and all day, consider what Jesus says in Matthew chapter 6 about the eye being the lamp of the body. He's making a deeper point about anxiety that a lot of people miss. There's something so much deeper going on in this text that I want to show you. So let's jump into the text of scripture. All right, Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. This passage is so interesting and it relates to anxiety. It's crazy when you see it. It says the eye is the lamp of the body. Okay, so if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Now, when you read the Bible, make sure you understand the context of what you're reading. This passage right here, Jesus is speaking. It's a part of the Sermon on the Mount. Matthew chapter 5 through 7 is the Sermon on the Mount. So right now, he's talking about the eye being the lamp of the body. Okay, and he's saying your eye can be healthy, and if it is, your whole body will be full of light. So what I want to do is probably just read through this, and then we'll back it up and plug it into its context. There are a few things that I want to make note of so you don't miss it. It says, but if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? And what's interesting is he's going to lead into not loving God and money or serving God and money. You can't do both. And then he'll talk about not being anxious. So when you read the Bible, this will be like a little Bible study lesson as well as teaching you what the passage is saying. When you read the Bible, make sure whatever you're reading, so for instance, we're in verse 22, make sure you understand what comes before it and plug it into its context. So, for example, Jesus has just said in verse 19, don't lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, right? So I'm going to highlight in blue anything relating to earthly treasure, right? Treasures on earth, why? Because moth and rust destroy, and thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. So this word but notes a contrast. Earthly treasures are contrasted with heavenly treasures. And what I highlighted in blue is anything relating to earthly treasure, right? You can lay up or store up for yourselves earthly treasure and go after and pursue earthly treasure, but it's just going to get destroyed, stolen, right? Moth and rust will eat it away. But heavenly treasure, he says, lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. In heaven. So I'm going to highlight in yellow heavenly treasure, okay? Neither moth nor rust can destroy, so it can't be destroyed. Thieves don't break in and steal. It can't be stolen, right? Wherever your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Then we go right into, hey, the eye is the lamp of the body. And this seems like an abrupt transition. When you read the Bible and you notice an abrupt transition between subject matter and the topics don't seem related at all, press into that and figure out why they follow and how they might be connected. So for instance, the treasure here is actually said to be what leads your heart. Your heart will follow where your treasure is, where you invest, what you store up, what you pursue, what you invest your time, energy, and money into as ultimately valuable to yourself. Your heart will follow that, okay? So the concept of the heart following the treasure, right? And the concept of storing up treasure in heaven instead of on the earth is going to be related to the eye being the lamp of the body. Okay? So to back it up even more, just for better context, in the last few bits of this chapter, Jesus has talked about not fasting or not praying or not giving like the hypocrites and the Pharisees. And what each of those three things have in common, fasting, praying, and giving, is that the Pharisees or religious hypocrites do those things for earthly rewards instead of what God can give. Okay, so up to this point, we've already seen contrasted worldly rewards that man can give and are only about this world versus the heavenly rewards your Father can give, which can't be taken away and can't be forfeited but last forever. We've already seen this contrast between heavenly and earthly treasure. This is not new, okay? So by the time we get to verse 22, we should have these ideas locked and loaded, that whatever this is about, it relates to our heart following our treasure. And I want you to think about the heart. When you read the Bible, it's good to meditate on things. Make sure you understand terms and define things correctly. The heart is the operation center of the life. It's as if that's the source of the life. Jesus says, out of the mouth flow what comes from the heart, right? And so your life is the product of your heart. Therefore, if your heart follows your treasure, it follows that your life will follow your treasure. And he'll actually explain that. The eye is the lamp of the body. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight in this salmon color, someone informed me this is salmon, that the eye here being healthy, okay, and the whole body being full of light. I'm going to highlight that because he's going to say, look, the eye is the lamp of the body, so your eye can be healthy. And if it is, your whole body will be full of light, right? But then he'll say your eye can be bad and your whole body will be full of darkness. So just as we saw earthly and heavenly treasure contrasted, and just like we saw in fasting and giving and praying, the contrast between what people can give and what God can give, we're seeing another contrast. Two things are being, contrasted, the differences between the two. The eye being the lamp of the body, whatever this means, it's going to relate to anxiety when we get to verse 25. It's very interesting how Jesus leads up to what people are anxious about. He's slowly addressing anxiety, in little bits and pieces. So whatever it means that the eye is the lamp of the body, and we should ask questions. Sometimes when people read the Bible, they just fly by stuff. I encourage you, don't do that. Try and make sense of an idea. If you don't understand something, you probably can't progress past it and make sense of the ideas that are built on that idea. So if I misunderstand this, I won't understand the other things. But sometimes to make sense of an idea, I have to keep reading to look at what surrounds it. So the eye is the lamp of the body. What does that mean? Well, the eye can be healthy. If it is, your whole body is full of light. Okay? So we have the eye and we have the body. And he's saying it's a lamp to your body. So the eye and the body are related here, right? In the sense that, and think about what a lamp is, right? In Hebrew culture, you didn't have electricity. You had a lamp to lead you around in the darkness. A lamp lit the path and, lit the room. And essentially, you would follow the lamp. You would follow the light that came from the lamp. It would guide you. It directed you, okay? So, you think about these things. In a parallel sense, the eye does that to the body. Guides, directs, leads. So if your eye is healthy, whatever the eye is, because we're going, what is the eye? What does this mean? How is it the lamp? Well, we know that what a lamp is to people in darkness, the eye is supposed to be to the body, guiding and directing. So the eye can be healthy. And if it is, your whole body, which follows your eye, will be full of light. So it follows that what the eye is, the body will be. But if your eye is bad, okay, your whole body will be full of darkness. So I'm going to highlight in blue now the eye being bad and the body being full of darkness. So we have two options here. If your eye is good, there's a light that fills your body. If your eye is bad, darkness fills your body. What does it mean for darkness to fill the body? What does it mean for light to fill the body? Let's keep reading, okay? If then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? How can light be darkness? That seems like a really contradictory thought. Light can be darkness? Well, think about it. He just said the eye guides the body. What does the eye do? Well, the eye beholds, the eye gazes, the eye, focuses. What you look at, essentially, he's saying what your eye beholds is going to guide your body and essentially your way of life. How do I come to that conclusion? Because he just said, don't lay up for yourselves earthly treasures, but heavenly treasures, right? He just said that. So whatever it means that my focus or gaze guides my body or my life, it's going to relate to the fact that what I pursue, either earthly or heavenly treasures, what I pursue is going to affect my life, since my heart follows my treasure. Do you follow what I'm saying? So whatever I choose to treasure, and guess what? The eye chooses to behold what you consider treasure. So what you focus on with your eye, what you gaze at, what you go after, what you pursue, what your eye is leading you after, whatever kind of treasure, either heavenly or earthly, your heart and your body follow All right? Meaning the heart and the eye are connected here. The focus essentially is what's being, emphasized. The focus of your life. What do you invest into? What do you go after? What do you pursue? What are you looking at constantly? That will lead your body. And whatever I look at can either be earthly or heavenly. Depending on whether it's earthly or heavenly, my body or my heart and life will be full of light, or it will be full of what? Darkness. And you go, I still don't understand. Let's keep reading. No one can serve two masters, right? So I'm going to highlight in yellow, two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. Those are the two masters in mind. Another translation will, translate money as mammon, the spirit of mammon, that which is of the world, right? So essentially, how does Jesus cap this, discussion and move on to anxiety? He essentially goes, when I'm talking about earthly treasure, heavenly treasure, the eye being the lamp of the body, he's essentially saying you can't serve God and money. And you go, how does that idea relate to the fact that your body can be full of darkness or light depending on whether your eye is good or bad? The eye is good or bad depending on what it's beholding. If it's good, it fills your body with light, right? If it's bad, your whole body is filled with darkness. What's bad is what is of the world, fading, temporary, not lasting, that which is opposed to God, of the world system. What is good is what God gives as a reward. So you have two kinds of treasures. The bad rewards and treasures, not to say everything of this world is bad, but Jesus is saying don't go after these things. Don't serve money. You should serve God. And you're going, I'll do both. You can't. You can't serve God and money. So because of that, you'll either hate the one and love the other, or you'll be devoted to the one and despise the other. So you'll either love and be devoted to either God and money, or you'll hate and despise God or money. So you have to ask yourself, am I devoted to God, or am I devoted to more money? Do I love God, or do I love more money? Do I hate money in terms of I prefer God over money? Or do I actually prefer money over God and despise God in the process? The answer to that question gives you the answer to, is my eye bad or good? Right? These are all different ways of saying the same thing. Don't lay up for yourselves treasure on earth. Don't let your eye be bad, or you'll be full of darkness. Don't serve money and be devoted to that and love money, right? Instead, go after the treasure of heaven that God gives. Let your eye be good and your body be full of light, and serve God and be devoted to Him and love Him, not money. Now, what's interesting is verse 25 leads right into, therefore, I tell you, do not be anxious about your life. What you'll eat, drink, what you'll put on your body. Now, when you read the Bible, notice repeating words. I see the word body several times in this little section. Jesus is saying, hey, you can be concerned about what, this life, the things concerning this temporary life. Food, drink, your clothing, but you'll just be anxious. And I'm telling you, do not be anxious about these things. How does not being anxious about what I'll eat, drink, or wear relate to not serving God, or, serving God instead of money? How do the two ideas relate? Well, if you're anxious about the needs of your life, food, drink, clothing, then you'll look to money as the solution to that anxiety and the solution to lightening that burden and actually, solving that issue. You'll look to money. You'll devote yourself to money. You'll love money, and you'll end up despising God in the process because you prefer money and look to money instead of God. And you'll serve money instead of God, which essentially is saying your master is money because you think money is the solution to all your needs and anxieties. Therefore, if you do that, your eye is bad, your body will be full of darkness, and your lifestyle will prove you're devoted to money because you'll live in such a way that doesn't honor God. But if you are not allowing your anxious thoughts to drive you to money, and you instead go, I'm going to serve God and seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added to me. I'm going to devote myself to God. I'm going to love God. Well, your eye will be good, right? What you're looking at and gazing at, and your body will be full of light instead of darkness, instead of great darkness. So what you devote yourself to, money or God, it will determine whether your eye is good or bad, which is what will determine the kind of life you live. If you look to money as the solution to all your anxieties, then you'll live in such a way that proves you don't love and serve God. But if you look to God as your ultimate devotion and love and the one who solves your anxiety and handles your needs, you will live a life that is full of light. You'll see light in your life. This is how the eye, being the lamp of the body, relates to anxiety. What you focus on can either add to your anxiety, right, and further that and not help it at all, or what you look at, mainly God, can actually be a solution to the anxiety of your heart. So gaze at Him, focus on Him, follow Him, pursue Him, invest your time, your money, your energy into the things of God. Love God, be devoted to God, and don't look to money as that. Let God bring the money you need, but don't let money become your God. Otherwise, that will breed more anxiety in your life. In other words, sometimes the anxiety of our life is the product of what we're focusing on. If you focus on money and only your own personal needs, anxiety results from that. If you focus on Him, you'll be surprised how God will relieve the anxieties of your heart, because He promises, if you seek first my kingdom, and that's how Jesus will end this section of the Sermon on the Mount. Seek first the kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things that you're anxious about and worried about and you think you need, everything God knows that you need, He will add it to you. So that's how the eye, being the lamp of the body, relates to the anxieties that can often plague our hearts and our minds. Listen, if this Bible study was helpful, check out abovereproachministry.com for our free online 40-day Bible study program. It's linked in the description below. Go check that out, and thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that and hit the bell so you can be notified of any future videos that come out. And check out abovereproachministry.com. We have completely free Bible study courses, a 40-day program, a 27-day, and 11-day program, all kinds of free resources. You can get a copy of my book. You can join our online church. You can get some merch. We have a bunch of stuff at abovereproachministry.com, and it's also linked in the description below. Go check that out, and thanks for watching.